For ways to destroy your enemy without fighting. Enemies can come in many forms, whether they are people actively working against you, those who undermine you behind your back, or even individuals who seem to thrive on your failure. Conflicts and adversaries are an unavoidable part of life, but fighting them head-on isn't always the best or most effective solution. What if you could defeat your enemies without resorting to aggression, anger, or conflict? What if you could neutralize their power over you, all while staying calm, composed, and in control of yourself? The ancient philosophy of Stoicism offers profound wisdom on this subject, teaching us how to destroy our enemies by mastering our own minds rather than engaging in futile battles. The Stoics, philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, believed that the real battleground isn't external but internal. They understood that enemies don't have power over us unless we give it to them by reacting with fear, anger, or hatred. By cultivating self-mastery and wisdom, you can disarm your enemies without ever lifting a finger. Instead of fighting, you learn to neutralize their influence through emotional resilience, virtue, and indifference. These methods not only free you from conflict, but also help you grow stronger as a person. In this video, we'll explore 4 powerful ways to destroy your enemies without fighting, using timeless Stoic principles. Whether you're dealing with difficult coworkers, toxic individuals, or even personal antagonists in your life, these strategies will help you navigate conflict with grace and wisdom. By the end, you'll see that the best way to conquer your enemies is not by confronting them directly, but by transcending the conflict altogether. Let's dive in. 1. Master your reactions. The first and most crucial Stoic principle for neutralizing enemies is to master your reactions. Stoicism teaches that we have no control over the actions or words of others. Our power lies solely in how we choose to respond. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This concept is fundamental when dealing with enemies. Their attempts to provoke or harm you are external events beyond your control. What you can control is how you respond to these provocations. When someone acts against you, your instinct may be to react emotionally, to get angry, upset, or defensive. But by doing so, you give your enemy exactly what they want: power over your emotional state. The Stoics encourage us to pause, reflect, and take control of our emotions before reacting. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. Rather, it's about acknowledging them and choosing how to respond in a measured, thoughtful way. For example, if someone tries to belittle you or spread lies about you, instead of immediately lashing out or feeling overwhelmed by anger, take a step back. Ask yourself, what can I control in this situation? Often, the answer is your own reaction and nothing more. When you master your responses, you show your enemy that they cannot control or manipulate you, effectively disarming them. Your calmness and self-control become a shield that protects you from their attacks. Over time, your enemies may lose interest in antagonizing you because their efforts no longer yield the desired effect. By mastering your reactions, you turn every encounter with an enemy into a victory for yourself. You've won the internal battle, the battle for your peace of mind, and in doing so, you've destroyed the enemy's influence over you. 2. Rise above with virtue. The second way to destroy your enemy without fighting is to rise above them with virtue. The Stoics believed that living according to your highest values and moral principles is the ultimate form of strength. As Seneca put it, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." This idea applies to conflicts as well. Your enemy may try to drag you into petty disputes or provoke you into reacting out of character. But by living virtuously, you rise above their schemes. Virtue, in Stoic terms, refers to qualities like wisdom, justice, courage, and self-discipline. When dealing with an enemy, practicing these virtues sets you apart. Instead of engaging in the same toxic behavior as your adversary, you remain grounded in your principles. For example, if a coworker is spreading false rumors about you, instead of retaliating by spreading rumors in return, you maintain your integrity and let your actions speak for themselves. Over time, people will notice the difference between your dignified behavior and your enemy's pettiness. Living virtuously also means being patient and understanding that your long-term character is more important than short-term victories. While your enemy might win small battles by frustrating you or temporarily damaging your reputation, your commitment to virtue ensures that, in the long run, you come out ahead. People who act with integrity, fairness, and courage are ultimately respected, while those who thrive on negativity and deceit are exposed for who they truly are. By rising above with virtue, you show your enemy that their attempts to undermine you are futile. They cannot drag you down because you are rooted in something far more powerful, your own moral excellence. This not only destroys the enemy's influence but also strengthens your character, making you invulnerable to future attacks. 3. Transform enemies into teachers. One of the most profound Stoic strategies for dealing with enemies is to transform them into teachers. Instead of seeing your adversaries as purely negative forces, the Stoics encourage you to view them as opportunities for growth. As Marcus Aurelius famously said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, the obstacles your enemies place before you can actually become stepping stones for your personal development. How does this work? Every challenge your enemy presents, whether it's criticism, sabotage, or outright hostility, forces you to strengthen a part of yourself. If your enemy insults you, it's an opportunity to practice patience and humility. If they try to undermine you, it's a chance to develop resilience and perseverance. In this way, every interaction with your enemy becomes a lesson in self-improvement. This perspective shift is powerful because it changes the way you view conflict. Instead of seeing your enemies as sources of stress or frustration, you begin to see them as necessary challenges that help you grow stronger. Their attempts to harm you become opportunities for you to practice Stoic virtues like courage, patience, and wisdom. Over time, you realize that your enemy has unwittingly become one of your greatest teachers, someone who, through their negativity, has helped you become a better person. When you transform your enemies into teachers, you rob them of their power to harm you. Instead of being a source of pain or frustration, they become a source of growth. This mindset not only helps you neutralize their attacks, but also turns conflict into a productive and transformative experience. 4. Practice indifference. The final Stoic strategy for destroying your enemy without fighting is to practice indifference. The Stoics believed that most external events, including the actions of others, are beyond our control and should not disturb our peace of mind. Epictetus said it best: "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In dealing with enemies, practicing indifference means refusing to let their actions affect your inner tranquility. Indifference in this context doesn't mean you don't care about the situation. It means you recognize that your enemy's actions are outside your control and therefore not worth your emotional investment. For example, if someone tries to provoke you with hurtful words or actions, instead of reacting emotionally, you acknowledge that their behavior reflects on them, not on you. You choose not to let their negativity disturb your peace of mind. Practicing indifference is a form of emotional resilience. It allows you to remain calm and centered, even when others are trying to destabilize you. This doesn't mean you tolerate injustice or allow yourself to be mistreated. It simply means that you don't allow the actions of your enemies to define your emotional state. You remain grounded in your own values and refuse to let external events disrupt your inner peace. When you practice indifference, your enemies lose their power over you. They can no longer manipulate your emotions or provoke you into conflict because you've chosen not to engage. Over time, this indifference frustrates your enemies, who may give up on trying to provoke you altogether. In this way, you've destroyed them not by fighting, but by refusing to be affected by their negativity. The Stoics teach us that the true battlefield isn't out there, but within ourselves. By mastering our reactions, rising above with virtue, transforming enemies into teachers, and practicing indifference, we can neutralize the influence of adversaries without ever engaging in direct conflict. These 4 Stoic strategies not only help you destroy your enemies, but also lead to personal growth, emotional resilience, and inner peace. Remember, the power to defeat your enemies doesn't lie in overpowering them physically or verbally. It lies in mastering your own mind and choosing how you respond to life's challenges. As you apply these Stoic principles, you'll find that conflicts no longer have the power to disturb you. You've transcended the need to fight, and in doing so, you've achieved a far greater victory over yourself and the situation. If these ideas resonate with you, take action today by reflecting on how you can apply these strategies in your own life. Share your experiences in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more wisdom from Stoicism that can help you navigate life's challenges with strength and grace. Stay strong, stay wise, and remember, sometimes the best way to destroy your enemy is by mastering yourself. See you in the next video.